करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Hari all and a very good morning. A very happy 2021 to all. We were talking in the last class about as you think, so you become. And the topic for the day, which is inspired living, is a sort of a continuation of that only. So we said in the last class that whatever a person's thoughts is, that is what he is going to create a life for himself. Your thinking becomes your things around you. Your thinking becomes the personality that you are. So the entire idea is to change our thought pattern. If at all you require to change anything, it is not the world that you need to change, because all of us all the time feel that we need to change the world. We need to refine others. Good thoughts, but it will not work. The world is nothing but reflection of your thoughts. It is just a mirror. So moment you change yourself, you will find that the world is also changing. Now, we concluded by saying that what is the process of doing this? So we will begin with that. The law of life is that you get in life what you deserve and not what you desire. A very famous statement often given by Swamiji also, that you will get in life what you deserve, not what you desire. Now, we also said that what you deeply think about, what you deeply desire, where you invest your feelings, that is what you are going to get. So what is the connection between deserving and desiring? When you desire something very deeply, when you invest all your emotions and faculties in it, you will definitely deserve that. So how does that happen is, desire then will be followed up by action. So we said the moment you crave for something, it is not going to come, but you must keep a thought, you must fixate a thought, and then you have to grow above that thought. You have to rise above that thought. Only then it will come to you. Then you deserve. For going above that thought, what will help you is karma. It will help you. So action is going to get you the result, but that action is actually following a fixated thought. And the fixated thought of the mind should not get wavered here and there, and should not go into a begging or a craving process. In order to not get into that, action will help. So you will definitely get what you deserve, not what you merely desire. A flippant desire here or there, that is not going to materialize. A deep committed desire. Therefore, we need to know in terms of what to desire. In general, in terms of karma, these are the, idea that is given in our Shastras. Certain desires, certain karma are forbidden, nishiddha. Nishiddha karma means you cannot afford to entertain the thought and then subsequent actions to that at any cost. For thinking people, there cannot be a list given that these are the things that you must desire and these are the things you must not desire. A list cannot be given. But there are certain examples given, there are certain indications given for us to understand that by any angle you cannot afford to entertain those thoughts. For example, cutting a tree which is in the middle of a village or in the middle of your society, which is giving shade to the travelers, which is helping all the birds, which is a very useful commodity. Suddenly, out of fancy, you want to cut the tree. That thought don't entertain at all. Harming a person who is giving out knowledge, which is technically called as a Brahmin. A Brahmin is one who is supposed to absorb the knowledge and pass on the knowledge for the humanity. Such a person, if you are going to kill or if you are going to destroy or harm him, such type of desire don't entertain. These are examples. Do not set fire to somebody else's house. Do not poison anybody's food. Do not elope with another's wife. You know, like this, some list is given just to give an indication as to what extreme type of mindset you must have to have such desires. Normally, we need not mention those things in a class like this because that type of people are not sitting here. But these are caution and precaution we need to take, that such type of desires, such type of actions are nishiddha, forbidden. Let not the mind entertain them. If it comes by any chance, also dismiss it immediately, whatever price you need to pay. And then there are desire-ridden activities, certain, even if it is selfish, that you want to fulfill them. Nothing adharmic about it. But let's say you want to eat a chocolate, you want to build a house, you want to gain some money, you want to gain name or fame, you want to produce child or something like that. These are all not adharmic desires, but centered around you, that's all. So these type of desires needs to be scrutinized by the intellect. Then you need to fulfill them carefully. There is a way to fulfill it also. So if you have eaten sweets many times this week and you are craving for one more, then the intellect says no. Or if you are a diabetic patient, the intellect may say no. If you want to build a factory, then there is a way by which you can go about it. So these are all sanctioned, but intellect has to play a role. There is nothing adharmic about it, but it is centered around you mostly. These are the actions that we need to always perform. That is called as niyatam karma. It's called as obligatory duties. These obligatory duties can be classified into two: nitya karma and naimittika karma. Nitya karma is that you are to do on a regular routine basis. Whatever is your swadharma, based on which, whatever is your vocation, you need to do those activities. Go to the office, eat properly, take bath daily, do exercises. All these are definitely that you need to do. We are talking in terms of karma. Similarly, certain special occasions will require your duties there. Picking up an important friend from the airport, or a particular occasion needs a particular duty that you need to do, Shraddha ceremony or something like that. I'm just saying, all these are definitely that you need to do in terms of action. So if you are able to classify your desires also according to this, then you will know how to entertain, what to entertain, and how to get it also. So what is the process then of fulfilling your desire? We said there is a process that the universe rearranges itself to fulfill your demands. This is how the mechanism functions. It applies for every creature. An ant which is deeply desiring a food or something, it is provided with that. And all the other creatures, be it plant, be it animal, their desires, their wants, and their needs are based on their basic instincts of life. A cow will definitely feel hungry and it will eat always grass, that's all. It will not ask for a variety. Why I am eating grass all the time? Why not some other food? Nothing like that. When it is feeling hungry, when there is a basic instinct and there is food that is to be provided, which is grass, that's all. Whether it is grazing somewhere or you have a cow in your house and you feed it, whatever be it, it needs to be fed grass. Similarly, a tiger which is killing and eating, it has to be provided and it will be provided. So basic instincts of hunger, companionship, mating, these are the major areas which drive the desires of animals. Plants do not have any expressive desires because they don't have a mind to express, but their basic instincts is in terms of their growth. That's all. Their flowering and their bearing fruit. That's also, they will draw deep inside and suck the water and minerals from the earth and they survive. That's all. There is no specific conscious desires as far as plants is concerned, but animals do have, and they are centered around their basic instincts of life. That's all it is. For a human, the desires are not just confined to basic instincts. Even in fulfilling basic instincts, there is a variety that we look for. And then build upon that thousands and thousands of desires. The way we dress, the way we eat, what do we want to have a car or go for a drive or various things. And certain desires may be very genuine also, that you want to serve others, you want to build a factory, you want to start a hospital, or you want to learn Gita, or you want to sing a bhajan or visit various pilgrimage center, whatever it is. There can be many ways of our mind desiring. Therefore, we need to think in terms of whatever is actually required for us, how do we fulfill that? Now, we are not talking about anything philosophical or spiritual also. Even in a normal mundane person's life, let's say if you want a car, if you want a job, if you want a wife, if you want anything, what is the process that will go into it? The creative process is this. First, ask. First process is ask. Ask means be very clear of what you want. This is very basic and important step here. Most of us are really not clear of what we want. I want money, so much money I want. I become greedy about money. Nothing wrong with money per se, but what is it that I really want? Give as much as you want. You cannot say like that. You cannot go to a restaurant and say, give me whatever food you want. What will that waiter do? He will only say, sir, you think about it, I'll come back to you after 5 minutes, then you can give your order. The wait, and so what is the best thing that you have? Bring everything. You cannot say that. The whole restaurant will say, everything that we have is the best. Can I bring every plate to you and fill your table with all the plates? No. Or you cannot say, what is that person eating? Bring me that. No. You be clear of what you want. So if you want money also, try to calculate and think in terms of what is the amount that you are looking at. That is where the creative process goes into little thinking. If you let loose the mind, you ask the child to let loose in the toy shop, take whatever you want, means I want this, I want this, I want this. It will keep on, it will not know how to fixate also. This is nice. Oh, no, that toy is nice. It cannot come to a conclusion. So therefore, take time to plan also, it is okay, but try to calculate what is the amount that you want. It can be a big figure. No, please, nothing. See, for the universe to provide to you, it is not difficult at all. Be very clear with this. It is as easy to be great as to be small. The grass that is being pushed out of the earth and the big oak tree that is being pushed out of the earth has no great difficulty in both. It is effortless for the earth to grow both the oak tree and the grass. It is as effortless and as simultaneous as that. So do not think that, no, should I ask for million or billion, will it? No. First of all, you be clear of what you want. Whether it's a million, whether it's a billion. You be clear. And then only you can place that order. So first step is be clear of what you want. Even as you say that you want a wife or you want a husband or whatever partner, be clear of what is the type of thing that you want, and then what you are looking forward to it. Like that it is. In terms of where you and what you place, only when there is a clarity, you can invest your thought and invest your emotions on that. So therefore, clarity must be there. Or if you want to say, I want to improve myself, develop myself, fine, that is good. What exactly is that you want? I want to join a 3-year course at Academy. That is a specific asking. Or I want to do the e-learning course. Or I want to study the Bhagavad Gita under such and such person. This is a definitive asking process, definitive seeking process. So first be very clear of what you want. Ask. Once you ask, then the next step comes, believe. Once you place the order in the restaurant, what do? It is going to take some time, right? He has to prepare your placed Manchurian and fried rice, something you have placed the order. He is going to prepare it. He has taken the order and gone. He is going to prepare it and serve it to you. It will take 20 minutes, right? In the 20 minutes, Do you often visit their kitchen and see whether my order is getting processed, or you do call the waiter again and again and again and say, I have placed the order, what happened, what happened? Do you ask that? No. What do you do? Watch the TV there, match is going on, or talk to your friend, crack jokes, and that is what you are doing actually. You have forgotten the order. Literally, after giving the order, you have forgotten the order. Remember this. Why? You are so sure that once you have given the order, it is going to come. 100% it is going to come. This is called as believing. This same belief you need to place on this universe. The universe is like the genie of the Aladdin's lamp. It is going to 100% make sure that your order is fulfilled. Once you have asked clearly, once you have placed the order clearly, you must really forget it. You must, and that is what is real believing. At the corner of the mind, there is still some doubt. Now, what will happen is, when you doubt like that, you are actually producing a counter effect. You are producing a counter effort to what you have already done. So it is going to delay the process for you. As you say, the moment you give a command, the computer is actually processing it to give out the printout. Okay. Now the print has not yet come. Then you are doing various other things. Then what happens? It will delay that and it says, should I cancel the print? A question mark comes there. Who has created that question mark? You only. Because you did not allow the computer to process the thing, and the printing is on the way. When it is on the way, you are pressing some button and then you are actually delaying the process. And then you are saying that these machines are like this only. It is not so. It is exactly like that. The moment you doubt something, the moment you are putting a question mark on it, you are actually stopping the forces then and there, and you are actually delaying the process. Even as a person, you know, there are some people who say, I do not know, I always go to temple, I sincerely pray, but my neighbor, he never goes to temple, never believes in God, never believes in rituals and this and that. Look at him, he is prospering, and for me, God is not giving at all. It may be correct also what you say, but what you don't understand is, with what mindset that you go to temple and even pray? Even as you go to the temple and pray, you are having various doubts as to whether it will happen or not. You are putting a stumbling block in the process and mechanism of the universe bringing that object to you. The other person who need not go to temple, but he is very clear. He is very clear that this order is going to come. He is very clear that this is going to happen. He is very clear that, so in other words, in terms of what is required unconsciously, he is practicing this principle. He is surely believing that it is going to happen. And that is the way in which he is doing. And that is the mindset of all his actions. So it is bound to come to him. So first is the process of asking. Second is the process of believing. Never allow that mind to crave, doubt, and do all other things which are stumbling process. And the third and final process, you only receive what is given. In order to receive, what you do is, you create space for you, and as though it has already come. See, the moment you write the exam, the result is already there. It only takes time to come for 3 months later. That's all. The moment you write the exam, CA exam or any exam that you write, that moment itself, the result is there actually, isn't it? The result takes time to manifest because of the processes involved. So therefore, in this way, ideally, you be grateful to whatever has been happening and is going to happen to you. That gratitude is what will make you receive the thing with grace. See, you can try it out. I would say all this lecture and Upanishad and this and that, it is very scientific. Whether it will convinces you or not, I really do not know. All that you need to do is test it out in small things in life. If it works for you, you will be 100% convinced. There is no requirement of Bhagavad Gita. There is no requirement of any guru. Upanishad statement says, Yam yam lokam manasa samvibhati vishuddha sattva kamayate yamscha kaman. A very purified mind, whatever it seeks, whichever loka it seeks, it immediately is going to come. Vishuddha sattva. So why they say Vishuddha Sattva means in that state of mind when it is well purified, the thought has that power to fructify, materialize immediately. Therefore, when we are at a lower level, you need to fixate a thought, work for it, all those things you need to do. But the power of the thought is that much. So you also believe in your thought power. And once the thought power, so the moment you have positive thought, the moment you have a inspiring thought, that power of fructification is much more than any other thought. If you have a negative thought also, let us say you want to fix it, you have a fixation that I must kill another person or I must destroy another person. That thought also, if you work on it consciously, diligently, it is going to fructify, it is going to happen. And we are not talking about what are the other effects of it, what are the repercussions of it. You can work towards making that also happen. But the power of that thought, in order to fructify, you need to put an enormous effort. You have to go against your conscience. It is like flying a plane against the wind. It will still fly, but it is going to take a lot of time and effort. On the other hand, when you have aligned your thought with the Supreme Self and you are thinking in terms of something very positive, very unselfish, very powerful in terms of visualization, it is going to have its own faster process of fructification. It is going to happen like that. So for which, extremely be grateful to whatever you have had, and just as it comes, have that, a grace to receive it. So all that you need to, we are talking, so think in terms of this. Suppose you start from home and go to office. There is traffic in between. You think in terms of, oh, there's a lot of traffic. I should not get caught in red signal. I should go. The moment you do like that, you will find that every red signal you will be there. 100% you will be late for the office. Who is doing this? You only. You are only thinking in terms of red signal. You are only thinking in terms of delay. This is what will happen. I'm talking about a very simple thing. Like you are starting from home and going to office. When you get into the car itself, visualize that everything is going to be a smooth traffic. Then you relax listening to a music or something. Not worry about it. You will find that day how your car goes. Just try it as an experiment also. This is the way to do it. It is that how you feel keenly about your, this is a small simple desire, right? Going to office on time and in a smooth way is a very simple desire. Nothing wrong about it. Try it out. Try it out in that. When you come out of the airport, that day there's not a car, you say that I'm going to get the right taxi now to going to my place, means it will come. Like that it is. So like that, each and every small thing like that, you try it out and see, it will work. Then why not apply it in a bigger desire? So you be very clear of what you ask. You 100% believe that the order that is placed is going to happen. So you are literally forgetting it, and have the attitude of receiving it with gratitude and don't resist it. In this way, whatever you have ordered will be served to you. Good, bad, ugly, mixed, every fruit is what you have asked for. That is a law. If we are able to get convinced about this principle, then at least from now on in the future, you will be careful of what you ask and how you ask. See, there is something known as a resultant desire. Of course, this is not the portion that we intend to take, but I'm just giving a thought for you to think about. Resultant desire is, even from the time of birth, your parentage, everything is that what you have asked for. Whether you are born as a man or a woman, or you are born in a particular community or a caste or religion, or everything, each and everything is as per your order, it is served. It is very unfortunate that some are born as like eunuch, half man, half woman. But did they ask for it? Where everybody is despising them, nobody probably will marry them, nobody will give them job, or it's a very sad life, at least for many of them. Did they ask for it? The answer is yes, they asked for it. How can anybody ask like that? Nobody will desire to be like that generally, directly, but they have asked for it. How you may desire certain things to be like a man, parallelly, equally, same investment you have desire certain things that is meant for a woman also. So when it is mixed and given to you as a package, then you say, no, 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 I did not order for this. Actually, you ordered for this. So therefore, be very clear of what is the power and direction of your desires also. That is why when it comes from the fancy of the mind, you will not know. A child may say, I want laddu, I want laddu, I want laddu. It will have that adamant attitude and get that laddu also. But when it has that laddu full, and the mother says you must not waste it, it doesn't know how to eat. It doesn't know how to eat. And it is looking at it like this and feeling very helpless. But that is what you adamantly wanted. So therefore, when the mind craves for something, that will also get fulfilled by this process. But you are not really knowing what you are asking. But you have invested your time, energy, effort, everything into that, and that will be served to you. So therefore, from now on at least, we must be conscious in terms of having the idea, goal, intellect, thinking, decision properly to really ask what you really want. Rather, we must go to a stage where we surrender something. Sir, please, I do not know what I need. You please give me whatever you think is best. I'm happy with that. If a person goes to that stage, no worries for him. In fact, all our thought process should lead us to that level only. Even as you're going through that process, be very clear. So ask, believe, and receive is the way to fulfill your desire, creative process. Swami Ramatita says, that is why the way to gain anything is to lose it. You have to take it out of your system in the mind the moment you fixate something. Then when you leave it, it will come to you. You keep on pakdo, that is hold on to it, it is not going to come to you. The way to gain anything is to lose it. Before we look at some of the practical aids, the topic for the day is about inspiration. What is this inspiration? It is connected to what we spoke on. Inspiration is an elevated state of mind where your emotions normally don't belong to on a regular basis. Let us take for an example when we use this word inspiration. Sorry. You say that early morning you go to the terrace and you see a sunrise there. Wow, you feel very inspired seeing that sunrise. Or you go to Himalayas, Darjeeling, or anywhere, Ganga, ocean, some supreme manifestation of nature, Niagara Falls. There you feel, oh, very inspired. Or it could be a man-made thing also, which is a thing of a grand temple that you see. Meenakshi temple or Puri Jagannath temple you go. And in front of God there, or looking at the tower or Vimana of the temple only, we feel very inspired. India won the test match against Australia, coming from 0-1 behind and without the captain Virat Kohli and with two new debutants. India won the test match, very inspiring. Or who is that? Abhinav Bindra won a gold medal, first individual gold medal for India in Olympics. Great inspiration. Sindhu went to the final, won the silver, of course. That's a great inspiration. We feel in Kargil war and our soldiers are there fighting. We feel very inspired. We also want to donate, contribute. So these are the things that we talk in terms of inspiration, because what do we feel at that point of time? We feel that our emotions and feelings are elevated. Normally, do you say, morning today, I'm very inspired to go to office today. There's a lot of work. We don't feel that way. Today is Monday. Today is the beginning of the week. I'm looking forward to go to office. That's why they say, thank God it's Friday. Why they say thank God? And thank God is also not an inspiration. Thank God is a relief. Thank God, man, it's Friday, because Saturday, Sunday I can relax. It is more of a relief. They are also not also looking forward to that weekend. They are only looking forward to the weekend because they are feeling so stressed in the office 5 days that they look forward to relax because of that. So it's a relief. Inspiration is when you look forward to it and you are charged by it. So you don't say about it, or you don't say that there's food, lunch. I'm going to eat my lunch today. I feel very inspired about it. There's no connection there. What are you talking? Or I'm going to teach. Teaching also can be inspired activity, but you say I have to submit a lot of things for my children in the school. I look forward to it. It's inspiring. My God, it is a headache, man. It is a lot of pending work and this and that. You don't feel inspired about it. But the same person gets inspired, as I said, about a victory of India, or a god, or a nature, or a sunrise or sunset, or about a particular Bhagavad Gita verse or something that you say, or 4 days of lectures that you attended, you feel inspired about it. So what is the context in which we use this term inspiration? What is the meaning of it? Normally, all of us are functioning in terms of me and my family. That is where most people are stuck up. What am I working for? What am I doing? If I am able to answer it, majority of the people, majority of the times, their thoughts and their being is centered around themselves and their family. That's all, maximum. And whatever you started as an inspiration for the family also, when you get caught up in that circle for a long period of time, it tends to lose its inspiration. Still, you will continue as a duty. Therefore, mechanically, duties will carry on. Going to office is a duty. Taking care of children is a duty. Getting them married is a duty. Like that, you will go through all the motions. And I'm not saying any of the things are not. You don't do it happily. You may do it with the general happiness also, but you don't feel that charge and inspiration towards it. When you are caught up in this particular circle, and suddenly, due to some external prop, for whatever be the reason, your emotions are risen to a different level, a higher level now. That is when you feel inspired. Think about it. So that's why I said, normally, normal course of the day is happening, and suddenly India has won a match. If that news comes to you, you feel inspired about it. Why do you feel inspired about it? Because at that point of time, your thoughts, as you think, so you become, we said, right? You were constantly thinking of my family, and you are a family man. That's all it is. You are a family person, and suddenly you are elevated to the status of a patriot or a national person, even temporarily. That time you don't think of your family, and you don't think in terms of any divisions or demarcations, whether the person who was instrumental in winning was a North Indian or a South Indian or a Bengali or a Maharashtrian or nothing like that. You feel one with the team. You feel one with India. That is inspiration, because you are now identifying with a bigger circle. Similarly, when you suddenly feel inspired about let's say you are donating to a cause, to a fellow Marwari, also to a fellow Punjabi or Bengali, whoever it is, who is not connected to you, but you pay a fees for his school or his exam, you feel inspired and happy about it. Why? There's no connection, but you are suddenly identifying with the bigger circle. So what happens when you go to that bigger circle is, your ego actually expands. The concentration of the ego loosens. The moment that ego loosens, you are able to expand and identify with a bigger circle. That is when your emotions are automatically elevated. That elevated state of your mind is called as an inspiration. So what is the connection with Abhinav Bindra and me? What is the connection with Sindhu and me? No, but I feel one with them because they are bringing glory to the nation. My identification with the nation. That's all it is. So these things come from time to time because of this external props. And similarly, analyze those things where you are able to feel inspired about a sunrise also. What is the connection with sunrise? What is the connection with Himalayas? What is the connection of inspiration with going to a temple or a god? There also, you are able to forget yourself, your individuality, your ego temporarily gets dissolved. That is why inspiration comes. Wow, you look at nature and say, wow, even the most selfish person, when he goes in front of the grand expression of nature and stands there, he forgets himself. Wordsworth was able to get inspired by seeing the daffodils. He wrote a wonderful poem, Daffodils. Poetry is an expression of inspiration only. And where did Wordsworth get that inspiration? Just looking at daffodils. You may walk through daffodils and you may press it and with your leg and go trample upon it. You may not even notice it. But he was able to notice it and get inspired. Why are you not able to notice? You are caught up in something. Your thoughts are something else. And you may even say, why are these flowers coming on my way? And you may even kick them out. that can also happen. But a person like Wordsworth was able to get inspired by daffodils, a small flower, or a sunrise or a sunset. Now, for a person who is extremely evolved spiritually, slightest expression of nature is enough for him to forget himself and get inspired. I repeat, the more evolved a person, the lesser is the expression that is required for him to get inspired. Grosser the person, he needs a larger expression for him to get inspired. So a person who is generally normally selfish and always egoistic, thinking about himself, not much, he will not, okay, he might be a big businessman also, or he can do various other things also, but not very inspired individual. Such an individual also, when he goes on a tour, he goes to Himalayas, or he goes to Pacific Ocean, or he goes to Niagara Falls. In front of that Niagara Falls, suddenly, wow, he looks at the Niagara Falls. My God, he says, my God, out of his mouth also naturally that comes. Why does it come? Because for the moment he thinks completely not about himself, that grand expression of nature has made him to think of God, as it were. So, but he needs that type of expression, big expression that is required. When you evolve spiritually a little more, even a sunrise or sunset will inspire you. That's enough. When you go even further in your evolution, a small daffodil flower will also inspire. Or you look at a banana peel, banana, see how beautifully it is packed. What do normally we do? We peel the banana, eat it and throw it. But think about it. When you have that banana in your hand, just think about it. What power has kept so purity inside, covered with the peel outside, that you can pluck it from the tree and eat it? Who has made this so nicely? So the moment you see that, that itself is an inspiration for you. We stand in front of the mirror and you can shave daily. But just for one day, you think about it when you shave. Who is it that is pushing the hair 0.1 millimeter or whatever be the size on a daily basis? We get irritated. Why am I have to shave on a daily basis? But think about it. There is a power within you which is pushing this to make it happen on a daily basis. It's happening for you. If you think about that power at that point of time, even a shaving experience will or can remind you of something which you will be inspired about. So this will come to a person who is evolved. The moment a person is spiritually evolved, slightest of expression, each and every expression is going to remind him of the divinity. And that moment the divinity fills up your heart, your ego goes into insignificance. Moment the ego goes into insignificance, that is the time you are inspired. And in that state of inspiration, whatever you do is the best thing that you can do. You can do your any activity. You can write a poetry, you can do your business, you can want to. In that inspired state, what will come out is actually a great thing for the world through you. At that point of time, remember, you are not doing. Things are getting done through you. Everybody is asking the flute. Krishna is called Muralidhar, right? Murali means flute. Bansidhar. Bansi means also bamboo, flute. So they are asking the flute, what is it that you have done that Krishna always kisses you? Everybody is waiting for Krishna's kiss, lips. But they are asking the flute, you are the most lucky one. Krishna picks up you and kisses you. So the flute says, I don't know, but I have done only one thing, that I have only emptied myself. You know, the bamboo is completely empty. Only holes are there. So this body with 9 holes, if you empty, last week was Christmas. There is a statement attributed to Christ in New Testament. Empty thyself, I shall fill thee. If you empty, but we are filled with ego. So if you are able to reduce that ego, the divinity will fill you, and what flows through you is actually a classical music or a classical living like that. That is inspiration. So therefore, when at that inspired state, remember that you are not doing anything. It is done through you. Somebody is doing it through you. You become just the instrument in his hands. So if you make yourself an instrument, Krishna plays the flute, means that is a divine music. Like that it is. So practically, how does it happen? You think in terms of when you have also done sometimes your great activity. When do you do that? Let us take the example of a musician who is singing. So he has the tanpura behind. He has the accompanies by the side. Accompanies can be a tabla, mridangam, violin, players are there. And then there's an audience there. He wants to perform well. He wants to really please the audience also. He wants to show his talent. And he has to showcase many songs that he has learnt also in various languages, in various raga, all these things he wants to do. And therefore the concert is going on. 2 hours, 3 hours, the concert is going on. At some point of time, let us say, due to some power of that music, power of the song also, let's say he has taken up a Meera bhajan and he is singing. He goes into the content of the song. He goes into the, as though mind of the Meera itself when he is singing that song. He closes his eyes. He is not aware of the audience. He is not aware of the accompanies. At that point of time, he gets absorbed and immersed in the song. He becomes the song. That is the time best singing comes out of him. So carefully analyze. At that point of time, everybody says that that particular song today was outstanding. That was outstanding, they will say later. And he doesn't know, because at that point of time, he was not himself. He was not himself. He was completely absorbed in it. So carefully analyze, when does that song come out nicely for him is when he is actually absent, when his ego is absent. Gavaskar has said, when he was batting sometimes, only when the public applause, gave him applause, that suddenly he thought he has scored a century. He was not even aware what score he was. He did not see the scoreboard. He was completely immersed in the game, looking at the ball, concentrating and just playing. That's all. Suddenly the results come. But what does this ego do later? Later when they say, oh, you sang very nicely. That song was very nice. Yeah, I sang it. I put the signature there. You know who takes the class? It's I who take the class. I am responsible. This ego comes and puts the signature that I have done it, I have done it, I have done it. But actually, the best thing was done when the ego was absent. That is the, what to say? That is the, what do you call that? Contradiction. That is the contradiction. The contradiction is, ego is not participating when such an action is happening, but ego claims the action later on. So we lose the inspiration later on. Like that it is. So inspiration is therefore when your ego is completely absent. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Edward Carpenter is a man of great spiritual experience. Thinker, I think from England. He says, never before could I have believed it, but I see it all now. There is no happiness unless you have clean drop thinking about yourself. But you must not do it by halves. While even there is a least grain of self left, it will spoil it all. You must just leave it all behind and vouchsafe the personality and mind that much sympathy as to any stranger, no more, no less. So he's saying, there is no happiness unless you have clean drop thinking about yourself. But it cannot be done in halves. Today less ego, tomorrow half ego. Even while there is a least grain of self left, it will spoil it all. Only 2 drops of poison in 1 liter of milk. The 2 drops of poison will spoil it all. You must just leave it all behind and vouchsafe the personality. That means you have to start looking at yourself with the same objectivity as you would want to look at some other person, as a stranger. That is the way to completely distance yourself from your ego. That is objectivity. And this is the process. The process is how to now really get inspired. Swami Ramatirtha gives a very brilliant formula. He says, we all like rain. Why do we like rain? Everybody, universally everybody likes rain. Because, of course, greenery is there, this is there, all the rain itself is a very conducive climate for various things. Fine. But if you analyze further, why is it that? It is because rain is a product of inspiration, he says. We all get inspired by rain because rain itself is a product of inspiration. Why is rain a product of inspiration? The clouds keep on collecting the water. The clouds keep on, condensing that water vapor. And that is when they are gathering that mass. Once they come to a saturated point where they cannot hold any further, they pour out. There is an outburst, and that outburst is called as rain. So he says, when something is very saturated, beyond which it cannot hold, it has to simply pour out. That is how we get rain. And that which is a product of inspiration, rain, inspires others also. Everybody likes rain. Everybody is inspired by rain. You dance in rain, you sing in rain, everybody likes rain. Child also likes rain. Old man also likes rain. Everybody likes rain because rain is a product of inspiration. He says that is the same thing that you need to copy as far as your personality is concerned. What you should do? You also saturate your mind with a particular thought. That is why in the asking and believing process, we said, do not worry about what the mechanism the universe is going to adopt to make it fulfill. You be clear. I want masala dosa, or I want pav bhaji, or I want Manchurian. You be clear of what you want. That's all you need to be clear. Oh, if I order this, whether they will have, that's all not your problem. That is not your problem. And as far as from the universe point of view, as I said, to grow a oak is also easy, to grow a grass is also easy. So don't worry about it from the point of view of universe. You be clear of what you want. When you are clear of what you want, saturate your mind with that thought. See, suppose, that's why I said, when do we feel inspired? You don't say, I feel inspired to eat apple. That's not inspiration. That's something that you eat normally. But you say, I feel inspired, I must build a cancer hospital. I feel inspired that I must write a book. I feel inspired about expanding my factory so that there's a lot of economic growth and employment all over the country. These are all nice thoughts, good thoughts. Fill in your mind with the thoughts. Work on the thought, fill in your mind. Do not worry in terms of, see, many people even ask, start attending these classes. They feel inspired about Gita, they feel inspired about Upanishad, but then midway, they are not very inspired in continuing the classes, because I'm not talking from the point of view of how the class is presented or what is the role of the teacher or whether he is effective or not. I'm not talking about that. From their angle, they are saying, sir, it's all very good. It's all very noble thoughts given in Gita, given in Vedanta, but I am not able to practically implement it. I'm still getting angry. I'm not able to get rid of my ego. I'm not able to do this. I'm not able to achieve this. So what is the point in attending the class? Others will also say that, and because of others saying, he also believes like that. This is not the way. This is not the way you must approach it. See, all our past tendencies and vasanas, however they are expressing there, it's going to take a lot of time to go. Let us be clear about that. But we should not worry about that. It is being result oriented. You don't worry about that. In order for your knowledge to get converted into practice, it must reach a critical point within your system. For that critical point, you need to just absorb the knowledge. See, a person in whom, see, what you gain from outside is knowledge. When you reflect and make it your own insight, that is called as wisdom. Based on the wisdom, when you act, it is called as a virtue. I'm just using the terms just to clarify these. All these are connected only. So externally, what we get from Gita, externally what we get from a class like this, or you read a book and get, or from a motivational speaker, you get something, ideas. These are all knowledge. When you work upon that knowledge with your intellect, churn and try to get clarity upon it by the art of reflection, that external knowledge gets converted into internal wisdom. Jnana becomes Vijnana, as it were. And once it becomes wisdom and gets saturated in your personality, you will automatically act. Automatically, it will get reflected in your expressions. In each and every way, it will happen. It's a time is there. It will happen slowly, but it will happen gradually. All that you need to worry about is listen, read, and get absorbed in the knowledge. Keep on thinking, reflecting upon it. That's all. Because of the other vasanas and other things, when the critical mass is not there, the balance may not show. But internally, the churning is happening. You are actually transforming. You will not be able to see its expression immediately, but it is actually happening. Sir, in this, in this companies, I think there is something called as, what do you call that? Holding company and a subsidiary company, right? Holding company means if company A has 100% share and out of which 51% is held, 51% or more is held by B company holds A company. B company will be the decision making, they will be in the management, they will be the owners, sort of, like that it is. So then B company is the holding company, A company is the subsidiary company. Let us assume A company has 100% shares and B company starts to acquire these shares slowly. So this year they get 5%, next year they get 5%, next year they get 5%, 10%, like that. So till the point that they go up to 49% also, they don't have voting rights, or they are not the decision making. Moment that 49% they acquire little more and become 51% shareholders. That point of time, suddenly they become the owners, or suddenly they become the influential decision makers of the company. But does the 2% alone make all the difference from 49 to 51? Actually, that 51 is built up from 0 to 51. That's how you have to see. But when 0 to 49 is building up, you don't see anything outside, but it's all happening internally. And when do you see it actually happening externally? When that 49 becomes 51. And that 51 can continue to build also later on. Exactly like that. The churning of the intellect and the decision-making process and our thought process, as and when you absorb the knowledge and you put in the effort, something is happening inside. You may not be able to visualize it or see it externally, but it is happening internally. The moment the critical mass shifts to this side, from 49% to 51% when it goes, you will see it actually happening. But it is not that one particular day you are suddenly transformed personality, you develop wings and no. That building of the wings has taken the bird so much, but suddenly one day it flaps and it flies. Like that it is. So you need to only worry in terms of saturating yourself. So any good idea, any good thought comes and you feel really inspired about it, do not worry about what others will think. Do not worry about what others will say. Do not worry about how it will happen. Do not worry about your own capability and this thing. As long as it is inspiring for you, saturate your mind with that thought. If you want to study Gita, take it up. If you want to learn Sanskrit, just take it up, work on it. If you want to learn some singing or something, be inspired about it. If you want to build a hospital, school, or build your factory, be inspired about it. Any inspiring thought, any inspiring thought is actually in terms of definitely unselfish and helping others. Work on it by saturating. And what will help you to saturate this within your mind? That is Vedanta knowledge. See, we have covered many topics on practical spirituality and self-management. Let's say dealing with money or leadership or personality chart or stress management, this, that. But eventually everything finally boils down to mind, intellect, and intellect controlling the mind. Again and again it will come to that only. And if we are definitely going to study about even deeper subjects like Bhagavad Gita, Bhaja Govindam, essential knowledge will be centered around this only. So you may even know next what I'm going to say. You may even know what example I'm going to give. That is okay, that's fine, that's how it should be. But still, you will want to continue to attend the class, take up the study, do it again and again, again and again, again and again. You must do it because association with that knowledge, association with the source of knowledge, it is going to add that saturation value into your system. If you can do it by yourself, nothing like that. You don't need a class, you don't need if you are inspired by yourself, you do your daily morning studies and you diligently work upon it on a daily basis, nothing else is required. But all of us need this props only to get ourselves established and saturated in this knowledge. Therefore, for us to get inspired, any one single small thought is also enough. Just make your mind saturated about it. That saturation itself will bring the effect. The moment you saturate, it has to come out through your actions. It will come out eventually. Do not worry about the process. Do not, suspect the power of your thought, power of your feeling or emotions. Your duty is to sustain and maintain that thought. This, in essence, is inspired living. Thank you very much.
Poornam Adah Poornamidam Poornat Poornamudachyate Poornasya Poornamadaya Poornamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.